Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. So this is the team selection video for game week 8. One of the most challenging game weeks I would say so far. Lots of decisions to make in terms of transfers, the postponements for last weekend, and then we have a blank game week this weekend. Talk about wildcard, we'll talk about the captaincy and transfers that I've made. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, let's take a look. Let's have a look at my side as it shapes up at the moment. I've got Dean Henderson in goal. He has some really nice fixtures. He's dead cheap as well. Not going to lie, he's not going to be my absolute. I wish I had Pope, if I'm honest. But Henderson I have got. He had a decent fixture last week. He's got a decent fixture this week. So high hopes he can hopefully keep a clean sheet. He's good for bonus points and save points as well. So he comes into the side. Again, it just defensively for us not been great. I'm not going to rely on him long term for clean sheets, but I am intending to sort of wildcard him out very shortly anyway. Then we have a couple of players, big hitters that are not going to be playing. Reece James, we know what his potential is attacking returns, and I have Trent as well at the back, but both of them blank because their games were called off against each other. So that's a lot of money that I have suddenly got tied up not playing. Perisic 5.6. I quite like this week having him in because I think people on the wildcard would have got rid of him, but I would like to keep him for the Leicester game. That looks good potential. Hopefully he'll play because Tuesday night he's had a 4-day rest, plus there's 2 weeks off the international break, so I don't see any reason why Conte would give him a further rest. Alongside him, Walker, now he's a doubt. There's a big red dirty flag on him, 25%. Didn't play in the Champions League, not in the squad. Very unlikely to play, 5.1. So that's a bit of a shame and a worry because without him, I've only got 2 playing defenders. Nico Williams is my other one. So that means I'm doubling up on that Forest defence, which is not ideal at all. So we'll look at my transfers later on and how I could overcome that. Nico Williams, a great attacking returns. It's just those clean sheets. If you can add that to them, wow. It'd be just 4.1. He's a bargain. As it is, even better. Martinelli, quite like it. Again, people wildcarding him out, or just not having him for that blank fixture now in game week 12 where Arsenal versus Man City has been rearranged because Europa. So to have him for Brentford away, even though Brentford playing well, is an opportunity I think. Brentford still conceding goals, Arsenal playing well, Martinelli great underlying stats. Don't mind having him in for this fixture. If he can pull it off, I think he could really do my rank some good. Alongside him, De Bruyne comes in. Not going to talk too much about him. He's captain material potential, 12.2 away at Wolves. More than happy to have him in my side. Leon Bailey, who's been a scourge of so many FPL managers over the season so far, did get a return against Man City of all teams. He's played the last 2. Good fixtures coming up and good one against Southampton on Friday night. 4.7. I'm hoping he'll keep his place aside and he will return for me. 4.7. Dead cheap. And alongside him, Andreas at 4.6 as well. Decent fixture away at Forest. Fortunately, I've got 2 Forest defenders, so I'm almost praying then that Andreas does not do anything. Not the ideal situation to be in. And Sterling, another Chelsea player, he will not be playing. Up front, I have Haaland. He will be captain, no doubt. Don't need to go through his underlying stats, just fantastic. And alongside him, I'm happy to stick with Jesus. 8.1, he's going down in value. I still really like him. His underlying stats look brilliant. That fixture against Brentford looks good as well. He's had a rest. I'm absolutely happy to be on Jesus. The last player is just making up an enabler. 4.4 Greenwood. Leeds don't have a game anyway. So that is my 15. Let's see how they set up. How many players I've actually got playing. And what I can do transfer-wise to get myself out of this little bit of a hole. On screen we have my side for game week 8. I've got Sterling, James, Greenwood, Trent, all blanking. So a lot of money tied up that isn't going to be playing. That's not ideal. Other than that, the players that are playing, fixtures don't look bad. I don't like the fact that I'm doubling up on Forest defence. That is not ideal in the least, but I don't want to go to Ward away at Tottenham. I think Henderson's got much more chance of keeping a clean sheet at home to Fulham than Ward away at Tottenham. Captaincy would have to go on Haaland. The rest of the fixtures look alright. Bailey, Perisic, Andreas, Jesus. I don't mind those. So I've got 2 free transfers. The question is, what do I do with those? So I think Trent just has to come out. His XGI is okay. It's defensively the right, but he just hasn't got a fixture. And then the fixtures do not look very nice for Liverpool, full stop. So I'm going to get rid of Trent. I intend to wildcard, if not this week, then next week. And we'll look at those options in a minute. Trent comes out, a lot of money gets released then. I've already got $1 million in the bank, and I bring in Trippier. 5.3, he looks a good option. Those fixtures look fantastic. On top of that then, my other transfer, Greenwood, who's just sat in there doing nothing as an enabler since the start of the season. He has now got the option of upgrading. I've got quite a bit of money. And again, I'm just doubling up on that. Newcastle at home to Bournemouth. They have the pick of the fixtures. And I'm going to go straight in for Isaac at 7 million. He seems the obvious choice. So the side would line up looking a bit like this. Trippier comes in. And up front we have Isaac, who will come in for Bailey. So we'll come in for Greenwood on the bench. He would slide in. Then we'd have a case of moving a few players who comes out. Well, Walker's already got a big flag on him, so he's a real doubt. I can't see him playing, so he would have to come out. He would go onto the bench. So my side would end up looking like this. Trippier, Perisic, Nico Williams. If Perisic doesn't play, that's my biggest worry. Walker would come in, but he's not playing, and I'd just end up playing with 10 players. That's my worst case scenario. I'm not taking a hit. I've still got 0.6 in the bank. I don't think that's likely to happen, but if I get word of it happening, I don't know. I think I would rather than wildcarding at this late stage, just play with 10, and then got Andreas, De Bruyne, Martinelli, Bailey, Jesus, Haaland, Isaac. That looks fairly decent up front. So that would be my side. I'm still taking no hits this season. I still retain all my chips. The other option is, I do just wildcard this week. My wildcard side this week would look like this. So I'd have Pope, I'd have Trippier, Nico Williams would stay in. I'd have 2 Newcastle defenders. That looks decent. I'd have West Ham away at Everton. That looks decent. The whole side would obviously look pretty good and is cheap. How they would line up, I think, is I'll put Nico Williams. I'd have no Forest, Andreas on the bench, and then Maddison away at Tottenham. So this side, looking at it, I could wildcard now, go to this side. Is it better than the one I've got? I think it is. Is it hugely better than the one I've got? I'm not sure. I've got Jesus. I still quite like to keep it. Forest could easily keep those double clean sheets, although I think Bournemouth, much better option. I do think Perisic is a great call, having him at the back. So I do think this side's better. The plan would be, I think, is to just plough through this week with the 11 I've got. Next week, as soon as the deadline comes and passes for game week 8, is just hit that wildcard button straight away, and I'm going for game week 9. We've got a 2-week international break. I think I'm probably going to be sacrificing a small rank drop because these people wildcarding will have a slightly better side. But in the longer term, I think I can get rid of possibly some of those Arsenal players and just focus on those longer term fixtures. Players like Zaha could come in. I just think that 2-week international break will give me more time, possibly time to make money on transfer market as well. We'll look at that over the next 2 weeks. I just like the idea. I'm just not feeling in a position. I don't feel there's enough benefit this week over next week wildcarding. So the plan is to stick with my current side, get through this week. Hopefully all 11 will play, and then wildcard as soon as this game week is over, as soon as that deadline goes, straight into game week 9, and we'll talk about that in another video. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what are you intending to do for game week 8? Are you going to wildcard? Have you already activated it? If not, which transfers and which players are you going to bring in? As always, we'll be back with you with a game week review, team selection, wildcard videos, all that good stuff over the international break. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to get the latest content. In the meantime, good luck with your game week 8. Speak to you soon.